Linda. I'm your certified trauma recovery coach, and today we're going to take a really good look at oversharing, shame and oversharing, and what is it about this aspect of complex PTSD keeps us oversharing when we don't even mean to, or perhaps we haven't even recognized yet that we're an oversharer. So one of the easiest ways to really take a step back and look at, am I an oversharer? Think of when you meet somebody new and they start talking about something that's happening in their life, and then you go, oh yeah, I can relate to that. And you instantaneously open up, and next thing you know, you just about told your whole life story. Let's all put our hands up. Who's done this? Okay. And I can guarantee you I've done it more than once, on many occasions, never knowing that it's not a healthy way to begin a relationship of any sort. So we're not talking just interpersonal relationship or intimate relationship, or friendship. We're talking about just beginning to get to know someone. It is not good to overshare. And think about narcissists, okay? When we're oversharers, they take on board all this information and then further down the track use it against us. Use it to take away parts of ourselves that are valuable, really, at the end of the day. Okay, so let's take a good look at shame and oversharing. So shame is what drives our overcompulsion to share. So we can even get that sense inside of us where it just rises up and we start going, what? And it's like we have to be willing to recognize when it's happening and go, okay, I'm not yet at the stage where I want to share intimate details of my life with somebody I haven't even got to know yet, haven't even learnt whether I can trust them or not. Shame also stops us from looking at the consequences of oversharing, of saying too much. So I've just gotten to say good day to somebody, and because this energy and emotion rises in me, I forget to make an assessment of whether that person actually has earned the right to my trust. Okay, so trust is something that we automatically give with complex PTSD instead of knowing and understanding that we don't do that. Okay, and it's a process. We ignore our thoughts about negative consequences from our actions because we feel too embarrassed and angry at ourselves to reflect and make careful choices about the long-term impact of our words and actions. I'd also like to add to this that unless we've developed a sense of self, it's really hard to even be in touch with feeling embarrassed about what we're sharing, okay? So that's another step in the necessary equation of being well, is that we need to be willing to learn how to do these things. So instead of choosing to protect ourselves from the future fallout of the consequences of oversharing, we protect ourselves from admitting the shame we have around the events that happen in our life. Think about that. And when we've fully developed a sense of self, we don't overshare. And we also are aware that it's not necessary. Okay, we've got to sit back and ask ourselves that question. Is it necessary that I tell this person what, I feel compelled to tell them? Okay. When we are aiming to be our authentic self, it's challenging to discipline ourselves in the moment and ask, how could this impact me long term? Or to ask, has this person earned my trust and respect? Okay, so have they done anything in your life over a period of time where you know you can trust them and you also have respect for them and their opinion and respect for how they treat other people, okay? And that takes time to work out. Authenticity is about being brave enough to be yourself and genuine enough to live according to your values. To be authentic, what we say and what we do needs to line up with what we believe. So you think about all the commentary on social media, it's like, when it comes to narcissism in particular, it's like, don't just listen to what they say, look at how they behave. But then if we take it a step further in, I want to understand what values drive this person, then we're going to have a better chance of knowing whether we should trust them, whether we should respect them, or whether there's a need to respect them, whether they've earned that. And we're also going to look for a deeper understanding of where their values are at and how those values drive their behaviour. Okay? So why do we overshare? Sometimes it can be a misguided attempt to gain sympathy. So if I share my mistakes in an effort to help others learn, am I being authentic or am I looking for sympathy? If we share our hardships to gain pity, then we are definitely oversharing. If we share them to gain sympathy, then we need to look at whether I'm oversharing. But sometimes, and I know when you read my work, you read it to gain an understanding of what's happening for you too. And it's the energy behind it. You know that you don't need to take care of me, okay? And you know that you can read this and you're safe. So think about when you're sharing, is this person safe? Okay, these are all really valid questions that we can ask along the way. An attempt to fast track the relationship. So we're oversharing in the hope that if I tell you everything about me, if I share all that I want in my life, I can absolutely expect the same from you. And then in the space of half an hour, we can determine whether we could have a relationship or not. That's just not going to work, okay? That seems to me. I had to learn this the hard way, okay? I want you to learn it the easy way, okay? Authentic people build relationships first. Oversharers blurt out personal information in attempt to also gain a sense of intimacy without building the trust. We're oversharing when our story still owns us, when the pain is raw. It can feel like the whole world sees there's something wrong with us. For many people, that's anxiety provoking, okay? So oversharers relieve their anxiety by revealing their pain. Authentic people, however, tolerate the anxiety and carefully consider whether it's a good idea to share or not, okay? And it can actually be a self-discipline that we develop to decide, no, I'm not going to overshare at this time. So you don't have to cut yourself off, make it black and white. It's, I'm not going to share at this time, okay? And before you share your personal problems, think about your reasons and consider the potential consequences, all right? Remember, you can still be an authentic person and maintain your sense of privacy. So if I was to leave you with one question, it would be, where am I oversharing and where do I need to learn how to put boundaries in place? And for those interested, My Authentic Self is a course available online in our membership for less than $1 a day. Thanks for listening, and the worksheet for this will be in the paid membership, and you can rock on in and use it as you need to do. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.